Brunch is very interesting, isn't it? Brunch in New York, there's a couple things actually. Not only do I live in New York, I live in the Upper West Side, which is like brunch, country, and then I'm a gay man. And if there's anything that what do gay men do? They go out and they eat brunch on the weekends. So it's a thing in so much of where I'm associated. So in New York alone, I mean, brunch is just, it's insane. The places that I like to go to will have a mixture of both like breakfasty foods and then more just like lunch items that you'd find on a regular lunch menu. And then what's happened is also there's this mix now of what is brunch food. It's this breakfast food that's heartier, that you can have the heartiness of a lunch with like eggs and waffles, except there's like sausage and bacon over everything, or a ton of hollandaise sauce. I hate breakfast food, I should say, so I only go to brunch places that have a lot of lunch food, but I think that kind of casualness is you can also have, that you can kind of eat whatever you want too. It's like breakfast, you can have lunch, and then you can have a steak if you wanted to, I'm sure. What's supposedly considered like the most indulgent brunch in New York, which is the smorgasbord at Aquavit. It's this huge spread of Scandinavian brunch food. There's like a whole table of herring, pickled herring, and there's a whole table of desserts, and there's a whole line of food, and so in that way it's quite indulgent. Brunch doesn't really change. That's really interesting. There are food trends come and go a lot in New York. Brunch food pretty much stays the same. It's the same egg dishes, it's the same, versions of a Benedict, versions of an omelet, versions of a waffle, and then a smattering of salads and sandwiches. And give you lots of juices, and then see if they can come up with inventive versions of a Bloody Mary or something. But other than that, I mean, there aren't really brunch trends as popular as the meal is. There aren't that many brunch trends. I will say that occasionally, when a trend becomes so large that it invades brunch culture, I think the only time I can think of that is the comfort food, Southern kind of thing that kind of happened after the recession started, where people were really into their comfort food, and so fried chicken became major in New York. So now you will find more restaurants that will serve fried chicken at brunch, because I mean, chicken and waffles is a brunch dish, at least where I'm from. It's a brunch dish. So they took that dish from the Southern brunch tradition and brought it to New York. So I think that's the only thing I can really think of where a trend has even kind of influenced brunch culture in New York. And I think what's particular to New York and why it's so popular in New York is time. Like more so here than anywhere else. Everyone's rushing around. We don't have time for anything, really. I mean, everyone's busy. There's always something. So brunch falls usually at a time when, on the weekend, it's during the day and people have time. People work during the week. You can't really have a leisurely lunch, and maybe you have more pressing plans in the evenings. But during the weekend, during the day, I think it's a time where a lot of New Yorkers have the time to do something like go out and have a leisurely meal with their friends. And I think that's a major reason why it's such a big deal in New York, because we're always pressed for time in this city. It's something that, everyone's just complaining about how little time they have and how little downtime there is. So I think combining all of that, the hanging out with your friends, the drinking in, this daytime kind of meal all into one, rolled into a brunch, I think is why it really has become so popular.